Why hello, thank you so much for joining me today. Kendall Hailstone here. Today's video is about confronting my physical limits and pushing beyond my fears. And I'll tell you what, trying backflips for beginners like me, it's kind of scary. I'll just say it is scary. But before we go ahead and hop right into that topic, which is a little bit different than my usual getting out of your comfort zone type of video, usually it's about, kind of emotional hurdles, to overcome, but this is more of like a physical hurdle to overcome, but it's still outside, both things are outside the comfort zone. So tackling comfort zone in multiple different areas of my life, which I'm super excited about. Getting into the habit of getting out of my comfort zone, that's key, right? That's key. Before we hop right into that and dive into this topic here, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. And alright, so let's get rolling with it. So today I was at the trampoline park with my two kiddos, and it's one of the things that we like to do to get exercise, to go socialize them with other kids and stuff. And so today, I was there, and even just driving there, like I had this intention in the back of my mind of practicing a backflip, of landing a backflip. And I've been practicing my front flips, and I've had, I'd say, years of experience doing that, not consistently of doing front flips, but I did my first front flip when I was probably a teenager, so 10 plus years ago. So I have had experience with front flips, and I feel very comfortable with landing them now. I'm always like stretching and warming up before I'm jumping like at a trampoline park, or really ideally before I'm doing any really extensive physical exertion or exercise. But in any case, so today at the trampoline park I had this intention of landing a backflip, and thankfully I've done backflips before, so it's not like a first time thing. And I've also have had my brother kind of coach me a little bit about it. He's more knowledgeable about backflips. He had a little bit more of, not like official training, but he had more extensive training than myself regarding certain gymnastic type things, backflips and things of that sort. So today in particular, one of the things that I was scared the most of, and I didn't end up actually landing a backflip on a trampoline. I was basically doing everything except that. Basically, trying to warm up into it, trying to take small steps of building up to that whole movement, so that because I don't want to hurt myself, and that's the fear. The fear is that I'm going to go up, back into the air, and then stop, midway, just kind of freeze, and then like land on my head and either hurt my neck or my back or whatever, and I'm just recovering from a shoulder injury, and so I'm really not wanting to hurt myself again, because I've really been enjoying this momentum of going to the gym and getting healthy and strong, and I don't know, I've been feeling better than I can remember physically, and so I just want to keep this up. So back to the backflip. One of the scariest things I did today was I was practicing my backflips into a foam pit. There's trampolines, there's a couple of different types. One that is angled like this, that you bounce off into the trampoline, into the foam pit. Another one, it's just a flat trampoline into the foam pit. Now I was practicing both of those, doing backflips off of both of those platforms. And I was successful in doing the motion. I've done the motion before. I've done the tuck and roll motion. I've also done just leaning back, almost body being straight and doing a backflip in that way. Feet straight in the air and then land. Don't know what it's called. And so I've done both of those before. So I remember what it feels like, but I still also remember the fear of going back and freezing and falling. I've experienced that. I have frozen in midair and then fallen and hurt myself. It's not pleasant. One of the things I'm super grateful about today, though, is that I was also able to go through that with my kids, and they were also facing their own fears of trying things. They're trying front flips right now. They see me doing it, and so they're wanting to do it, and I'm trying to help them with baby steps of to get used to the movement so that they can do it successfully. And they both were overcoming their fears. And one of the things I was chanting today was action cures fear. Action cures fear. And it was definitely a mantra I was using with them today, and also with myself. First, I want to share the fears that my kids overcame, and then I'll share the big fear that I overcame at the trampoline park too. So first of all, Theodore, he was wanting to do the motion of the front flip, not an actual front flip, because it was going to a foam pit, so it's just practicing the motion of it, right? Landing into a kind of a safe area. And so he showed me what he knew, basically kind of jumping and then flipping over and landing on your back, your back and your butt. Sorry, your butt and your back. And he could do that pretty comfortably, but he was feeling really nervous about going from the trampoline into the foam pit. And he was practicing this on the trampoline. I was telling him, yeah, just practice that until you get comfortable with that, and then really the only way to overcome the fears is go ahead and do it. Is the fear of the thing itself is way worse than the thing itself, and action cures fear. And so I was kind of coaching him on overcoming his fears around that, and he did end up going from the slanted trampoline into the foam pit, doing that front flip motion, and he was like, oh my gosh, I love this, that was so easy. He experienced, I hope anyways, that feeling of the fear being so much bigger than the actual thing itself. And Charlotte, she was particularly scared of a high platform going off into the foam pit, which you can use, for whatever, just jump off, or you can do a front flip or back flip off of it or whatever. But she was just really scared about jumping from so high up. But yeah, I was, action cures fear, Charlotte, and she ended up going up there and jumping off and like, she fell in there, and she ended up doing that a few more times, and so she totally overcame her fear too. And I'm so proud of both Charlotte and Theodore today. And for myself, the thing that I feared the most was going from that top platform that it's pretty high up, relatively close to the ceiling. I feel like I can almost touch the ceiling. So being a tall guy, I was kind of freaked out being that close to the ceiling with trying to do a backflip. Because that was my goal, to do a backflip off of this platform. And the first thing I did, I just kind of went onto the edge of the platform, and then I just fell backward. And that alone was freaky. Let me tell you that. Just falling backward, it's like the trust exercise where you fall back and someone catches you, except for it's no one catching you. You're falling into a foam pit, from a pretty high distance. And so it was definitely freaky. I did that a couple times. Both times were just as scary, honestly. I did it the first time, that was the worst, and then the second time it probably wasn't quite as bad, but it was still like super scary. And then the next time, my son was right there ready to go next off of this the high platform into the foam pit, and I had I was like, okay, this is the time. So I grabbed the side of the platform, and I put my feet on the edge, and I bend my knees. I'm like, this is it, Kendall. This is it right here. You're just gonna do this right here. And so I just counted to myself and said 1, 2, 3, and I just did it. And so I did a backflip, and man, that was also extremely scary. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. Honestly, I don't even think it was as bad as like the first falling backward into the foam pit, but it was still pretty scary, doing that. Just the fear was just felt so real right beforehand. I was like, I felt so scared. I felt so scared, of tackling this backflip off of this platform, but I ended up doing it, and Theodore's like, oh yeah, great job, Daddy, and stuff. And so it was cool to be able to show him also me overcoming my fear. And so it was just I was really blessed and grateful for today for those opportunities to be overcoming my own fear, and then helping Charlotte and Theodore overcome their own fear, and watching them actually follow through, take the action, and cure their fear with action. It was just so beautiful, and I'm so incredibly blessed for sure. So man, I don't know if you've been just avoiding doing something, maybe on the physical side, that maybe you don't feel like you're athletic, or maybe you're just not good at it yet, but you're feeling uncomfortable about doing it because you don't want to look silly or stupid or whatever. Or maybe it's something where maybe it's a physically kind of dangerous thing. Maybe you're considering skydiving or bungee jumping, or something of that realm where it has a little bit more of a adrenaline rush type of feeling because of the physical, the risk, I guess, if you catch my drift there. But I mean, those things are all possible for you. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself, in your mind. You're creating these stories, these reasons, these objections in your mind of why you shouldn't go and do that thing, even though it's something that you want to do, but you just get in your head about it. I mean, the monkey mind just keeps chattering away, and then it keeps you from doing that because it wants to protect you, right? But hey, I would suggest that if there's something that you've been wanting to do, you know, I play ultimate frisbee, and I know some people are like, oh, you know, I'm not good at frisbee, or, you know, I can run and stuff like that, but I'm just no good at throwing and stuff, and they get down on themselves. I don't know, maybe not getting down on themselves, but they're coming up with all these reasons of why they can't do it, and maybe they just don't want to, and I'd be totally fine with that. But from my perception of their response, it seems more so of a doubt in their ability to, so they don't want to because they don't feel like they're capable. That's kind of just what I pick up on it anyways, but I could totally be wrong. But that's just to say that, just giving an example, that if there's something that you know, maybe somebody invites you to do something and you've maybe never done it before, you know, instead of rejecting the idea because you're like, oh, you know, I've never done that before, maybe take that opportunity to get out of your comfort zone and try something new. You know, challenge yourself, get out of your comfort zone, face your fears, put yourself in uncomfortable situations, you know, get in the habit of doing that. When you can do it with the small things, you'll be able to do it with the big things, and those things are going to be, I mean, all of it together is just going to be transforming your life. And so, you know, for me, it's been a huge, you know, boost in my self-confidence and my just belief in myself that I can really just do anything, that I can do anything. And it's building, you know, building blocks, you know, it's small steps at a time, you know, building up to the big things so that I can be really making huge, massive transformations in my life and making the global, you know, universal impact that I so, you know, desire. And so anyways, thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you are inspired and encouraged to go out and try something new if somebody invites you to, or if there's that something that you've just been wanting to, you just haven't done it yet. Do it. Just go do it. Plan on doing it. Set a time right now. Schedule it. Do it. If someone is inviting you to do something, get back to them and do it. Say yes. I mean, granted, only if you like want to. But, you know, I feel like it takes a certain amount of self-awareness to identify whether this is actually something that I want. And if it's not, is that just my mind, you know, coming up with objections, or is that like me actually not wanting to? You know, anyways, that's kind of besides the point. Get out of your comfort zone and do it anyways, yes, for sure. So thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful rest of your life. And thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Hope you have a good one. Peace. Bye.